What is up, Ramble fam? Y'all, it has been so long since I got up on this damn podcast, which, by the way, for those of you that have been keeping along on my main channel as well as my Patreon, I had said that I was going to start this a long time ago. However, just so many things got in the way, if I'm being so honest with you guys. Like, y'all, I opened up to the Patreon and, said what's going on in my personal life, and I just feel like, oh my lord, y'all, this past year has been rough, okay? Like, more rough than my hairline, okay? If you guys did not know, I kind of shared like a little back house with my sister and her husband, and y'all, he was out of work for 10 months, and I just had absolutely no privacy whatsoever. And y'all know here on the podcast, like, I talk about like my personal life and stuff. Obviously, when it comes down to my main channel, it's like, you know, more drama driven about like celebs and influencers and things like that. And I'm like, okay, well, it's just been way too hard to do daily uploads as well as like do a, you know, let's say hour to 2 hours, because y'all know on the podcast, it may be an hour, maybe 2 hours, maybe something in between. You know what I'm saying? It's just been way too hard to maintain that because I didn't have any privacy whatsoever. But luckily, that fool went back to work. And y'all, oh, Lord, it has just been so strenuous because I'm being so serious. I genuinely have missed the podcast. Y'all know I'm a rambler. Obviously, that's why I named this podcast The Ramble, because I just talk and talk and talk and talk. So I am so excited to get back into this. But I want to be so transparent with you guys from the jump of this, okay? I look like a whole tragic hot mess right now because I had absolutely no intention of filming today. It's literally the day before Christmas Eve, which, by the way, you guys are probably watching this on Christmas Eve. So Merry Christmas if y'all celebrate. I got a letter, okay, from, well, an email, I guess, from YouTube stating that if I do not post on this channel, that I'm going to lose monetization on this channel. So I actually was going to get the podcast started the first week of 2026. I was like, okay, you know what? Like, it's going to be perfect now that it's been all these months this year that I haven't just had the time to be able to sit down and film for this podcast channel. I said, you know what? 2026, it's a whole new year. Like, that's the perfect time to, you know, put it on my vision board and put it on kind of like my, what's the word that I'm looking for that everybody does? Oh my gosh, why can't I think of the word right now? Resolutions. Put it on my New Year's resolutions to start that. And then I got that letter right before I went on my trip. For those of you that don't know, I just recently went on a trip to Orlando. I went on a cruise, and then I went to Epic Universe, and then I went to Epcot. And I was like, oh my gosh, y'all, I kind of was shitting bricks because I was like, no, I'm just about to get back into the podcast. And if I don't get like 1,000 watch time hours within 30 days, then they said they're going to demonetize this channel. And I'm like, you guys, like, it took so much work to get this channel monetized. It takes so much work to get any channel monetized now. So I'm just like, oh my God. So I had absolutely no intention of filming today, but then I was like, damn, today's the only day that I have, you know, about an hour to spare. So yeah, I'm just letting you guys know that I wasn't fully ready to get back into this. However, I was like, well, I guess I got to do what I got to do. And I think this is a sign from God right now to just be like, hey, get back into it. And even though I'm not fully prepared, because y'all know, even with the podcast before, I used to kind of have like, I don't want to say a script, but I guess like a guideline. Do you know what I mean? Of like certain things that I want to talk about. I'm going to be so real with you guys. I have 2 things written down in my notepads of like just random things that I wanted to talk about. You know, on the very first podcast back, I actually, you know, had some other things planned too for kind of like a New Year's resolution thing, but I'm like, I didn't even have time to like sit down and do those. And on top of that too, I was going to do it with my homegirl Genevieve, which, by the way, I need to give you guys like an update on this before we even jump into the yucks and yums, okay? I know that this is kind of like a lot to ask for, obviously, being that, you know, I started this podcast with somebody else. We no longer speak. And y'all, like, I'm not even trying to be negative or anything. Like, I don't hold grudges whatsoever, but me and that person are just not going to ever talk again, which is totally fine. Like, I'm totally at peace with it now. And you know what's so crazy is I feel like you really learn about a person when you stop talking to them and you see the way they move behind the scenes. And you know what? It's so crazy that, yeah, you just open up your eyes. You know what I'm saying? Like, people say before, like, damn, you don't really know somebody until you live with them, or if you, like, go through a breakup with them, then you really get to see their true characters. And I'm like, oh, okay, or characteristics, I mean to say. And I'm like, oh, okay, so me and her, most likely, okay, will never speak again, like I said, which is totally fine. However, I have a favor to ask for you guys, because if you guys did not know, if you guys haven't kept up with everything, me and her sister, okay, have been friends for almost 25 years now, okay? And she's going to be doing some podcasts with me. I think I'm going to be doing some solo and then some with her. Maybe I'll do like once a month with her, maybe two times a month. Like, I really don't know. If you guys really do like her energy and you guys really like our conversation, maybe I'll bring her on every episode. I don't know as of right now. Obviously, I'm kind of like leaving it up in the air to see what you guys like and to see how she feels. I have had conversations with her, obviously in private, and I wanted to, like, let you guys know that me and her have our friendship. Like, we've been friends for so long, and even through this whole entire, situation with me and my ex co-host, like, we have still remained friends, and we have really just kind of separated, mine and my ex co-host drama and our friendship. Do you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, like, she heard my side of the story, like, like, I got to hear, like, basically her thoughts and opinions about everything, and we have remained friends, so we're totally fine. And I asked you guys this on a live before of like, oh my God, like, do you guys think that this is going to get messy? And everyone's like, damn, that sounds really messy. But I think that obviously, we're all adults here. Like, we're all literally in our mid 30s. And I'm like, okay, I don't ever want it to come across shady to my ex co-host that, like, oh, I'm over here like, oh, her sister's doing it. But I do got to be so real with you guys, okay? For those of you that have been along for a while and you guys have been on my main channel for a while, Genevieve was in numerous videos of mine. We had always talked about doing a podcast together. However, I just feel like when I was ready to get started with the podcast, I kind of felt like she was a little apprehensive to do it. And now she's like, oh, hell yeah, like, I'm totally down to do it. So at the time when I started doing it with, my ex co-host, I was like, I just mentioned to her and she was like, let's do it. And then we just literally just sat down and did it. Do you know what I'm saying? So I know it sounds a little bit messy, but I do want to ask you guys this. If you guys can do me the hugest favor in the world, keep in mind that they're sisters. So I would really, really appreciate if, like, nobody sits there and tries to, like, oh, how do you feel about, your sister and Tim and you still being friends and blah, 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 blah. It's like, y'all, this happened over a year and a half ago. It's been such a long time now. And I just don't want to reopen that situation. I feel like the ship has sailed and we obviously have maintained our friendship and I just want to keep it at that. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's my one little favor to ask you guys. And I know that that's a big favor because, like, low-key, it kind of sounds a little bit hypocritical of me. Obviously, as you guys know, I'm a very nosy person and I totally understand if I was watching a podcast, okay, like with somebody who was doing it with two people, like it was like a co-host, style situation. And then one day, the podcast restarted with another sister. I would have some questions. I'm keeping it real. So that's why I'm like, I know I sound like a hypocrite. However, do keep in mind that I'm like, Genevieve has her relationship with her sister. She has her friendship with me, and we have kept everything separate. Nothing has been messy. There has been no drama whatsoever on mine and Genevieve's end. So that's why I just feel like, let's go ahead and keep it cute over here and don't be asking no damn questions, okay? Even though I know some of you guys are real nosy, which is fine, but ask questions about other things, okay? Anyways, by the way, that's why I look so busted today, okay? I literally love how I got off on this full tangent right here of like, y'all, not me coming back to this podcast and looking an absolute train wreck. Like, y'all know I like to put on a little bit of makeup, and guess what? You guys are seeing me barefaced, okay? Like, literally barefaced right now. Like, y'all, I'm looking a little rough, but we're just not going to pay attention to that. I feel like you guys should just, like, put the phone down, you know what I mean? Or, like, maybe, like, I don't know, block your TV screen if you're listening to this on your TV screen and just listen. Maybe this should be an audio only podcast. Anyways, y'all know if you guys don't remember, I love to start off the podcast with my yucks and my yums, okay? Now, I do want to say my yuck, y'all, is the fact that I am filming this the day before Christmas Eve, and it just doesn't feel like Christmas whatsoever. And you know what sucks? I'm going to be so for with you guys. Like, I have never wanted children ever in my life, but I do got to keep it real. Around the holidays, just seeing how, like, my friends' kids get so happy over Christmas. And then obviously, like, my memories too of, like, being a kid and, like, having Christmas, like, y'all, like, it just kind of makes me want a kid, which I'm never going to do that. Like, I really do feel like that's not something that is, written in the stars for me, because I got to keep it with you guys. I'm a really selfish person with my time. And I really have seen how difficult, some of my friends have had their lives, having kids. And I'm like, y'all know I'm a traveler, okay? Like, anytime that I get the opportunity, if anybody hits me up and is like, hey, let's go to Japan. Hey, let's go to Barcelona. Like, Barcelona. Like, I am literally ready to go. And obviously I can't live that type of lifestyle if I have a kid, and I got to keep it real with you guys, y'all. Like, I just don't have enough money. Do you know what I mean? Like, I read this article that had said that it costs $380,000 to raise a child from birth till they're 18 years old. And I was like, y'all, like, I don't even think that I could, like, get through 18 years of my life with $380,000. Like, how am I going to do that for somebody else? Do you know what I mean? Like, whoa, that's, like, way too much. And I just feel like, I don't know. And on top of that too, y'all, I'm not even trying to be negative, but the quality of life has went down so much. Like, I feel like, speaking about my living situation right now, and like me sharing a back house with, my sister and her husband, what's so crazy is that I sit here and I'm like, damn, like, I couldn't even imagine the newer generation, because, like, I feel like they're growing up even more tough than what we have it, because the cost of living, the price of, like, houses, you know what I'm saying? Like, here in California is just, like, it's rough, y'all. Like, I feel like there's just like no type of motivation whatsoever, because I just feel like it's just no matter how hard you work, like, are you ever going to be able to obtain a nice car, a nice home? Like, it's just so unobtainable these days. So I don't know. I just feel like, damn, having a kid, low key, I'm like, whoa, like, would that be bad? Do you know what I mean? But either which way, y'all know I am single as a Pringle. And honestly, y'all, I'm gonna be so for with you guys, okay? Y'all know that I've opened up before on the podcast about me and, like, you know, my little dating life and whatnot, which, by the way, literally, like, have not been on a date in forever. But I do want to say, like, throughout this past year and a half, I haven't even talked to one single person. I am being so serious with you guys. Like, well, I guess maybe I should give a little bit more context behind that. Like, I haven't talked to one person steadily, like, not even talked to for like a couple weeks. Like, sure, every now and then, you know, I may meet somebody at a bar and, like, you know, talk to them for like a day or maybe 2 days. Do you know what I mean? But other than that, I really have realized, though, that I am so good being single. But it does scare me a little bit, because I did see this therapist that is famous on TikTok, and she was talking about, like, oh, the longer you're alone, the more dangerous it is, because everything becomes a nuisance to you. So the more time that you spend with yourself, and say, for example, you're used to doing things your way, you're used to listening to your music, the movies you want to watch, going to places that you like to go, going to the restaurants you like to go. And it's like you're so set in these ways. And as soon as somebody comes about, obviously being in a relationship is a compromise. And it's kind of like, oh, well, now you have to sit there and be like, you know what? Like, I guess I'm going to have to go to this restaurant. I guess I'm going to have to watch this stupid ass movie that I don't want to watch. And it's like you have to compromise all these things, and it becomes obviously a nuisance. And I got to keep it real with you guys. Like, I am not willing to do that now. Like, I've spent so many years alone now, and I do have to say, maybe about 2 years ago, and I think that's probably because I was a little bit more so fresh out of my relationship, because 3 years ago, y'all, oh my God, I can't even believe it's been that long. 3 years ago, I ended my relationship. So obviously I was like, okay, let me stay single for a while. But then as soon as I got over it, I was like, let me go out there and test the dating pool. You know what I'm saying? And I have just realized that, no, I don't want to do that whatsoever. I don't even know how I got on this topic of conversation, y'all. Like, how did this go from my yuck and it being Christmas? It just trickled down, but that's why this is called The Ramble. And by the way, if you guys are new over here, I ramble, okay? And I have ADD, like self-diagnosed, okay, by the way, which I love how I literally always say that I have like ADD or ADHD or whatever. And it's like, y'all, people have been telling me that for years. Like, they know as soon as I get on to one topic, it will trickle down into 17 other topics that are so far away from the main topic that I started on. But if you guys have watched me long enough, y'all know that's just how I am, okay? I do feel like that correlates, okay? And on top of that too, I really haven't opened up to you guys obviously in so damn long about like my personal life. Like, I feel like on my main channel, pretty much all I talk about is other people. So that's why I'm like, okay, let me open on up over here. But anyways, back to my yuck about it being Christmas, y'all. I really do have to say, like, I feel like because in my immediate family, there is absolutely no kids whatsoever. I'm just kind of like, oh, like the spirit of Christmas is low-key kind of dead. And obviously I'm not in a relationship. So therefore I don't get to go and do all the cute things, go down Candy Cane Lane and go to, you know, all of these, you know, Christmas decorated houses with a partner. And y'all, when I was with my ex, what I thought was like really special is we went to Disneyland during Christmas time, and I couldn't even believe that he was like, oh my God, like literally bawling down on Main Street because, you know, they do the like Christmas parade and they have like the snow coming down and everything. Like, he was literally in tears because he had never seen it before. It was his first time going to Disneyland, and it was honestly such a magical experience to be able to share that with somebody else. And now I'm just over here like, I guess I'm kind of like is it Scrooge? Yeah, Scrooge over here, like, or the Grinch, honestly, because I'm just like, I'm just over it. Like, yeah, like I'm ready for the new year, y'all. Anyways, I want to go ahead and get into my yum. I am going into 2026 trying something so completely new. I have told you guys this before on Patreon. So if you guys have come over from Patreon, which by the way, oh my God, let me briefly mention, I know I've mentioned Patreon in this, like I'm stopping the Patreon. Okay. So if you guys see a link anywhere for my Patreon, please do not subscribe to it. Okay. Like I tried to like stop everybody's subscriptions, and apparently if I do that immediately, like it stops everybody's access. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it sucks because we had a new month and I had announced that I was going to stop the Patreon in the beginning of December, the beginning of December. So I was like, wait, if I do it right now, then that cuts off everybody for the whole month. So everybody that paid for December, I'm like, that's kind of stupid how they do that. And I feel like they do that for a reason to like, you know, make you not want to, you know, cancel your Patreon. And I don't know how to go about that or whatever. So anyways, on January 8th is going to be the last day of the Patreon. So if y'all see any links anywhere for Patreon on my older videos or anything like that, like, please don't go subscribe, okay? Because I'm gonna end up doing YouTube memberships on my main channel. But anyway, where was I going with this? Oh yeah, I already mentioned it on the Patreon, y'all. So if you guys don't recall, I actually had a travel channel, and for those of you that don't know, I used to do it with my brother, and low key, I had so much fun doing that. And on top of that too, I felt like it was kind of like bonding time for us to go try new restaurants and like, you know, just film our adventures because we were going on so many different vacations. And I was like, you know what? I love watching travel vlogs, so let's do one ourselves. By the way, I forgot to mention to you guys, I drank this whole entire agua fresa right here, which by the way, this is a medium. Like my dad went to Northgate and I was like, oh, can you get me a medium? I didn't realize that it was as big, and I chugged it, y'all, because it was so delicious. So I may have to take a pee break, just letting you guys know. Anyways, so we started that travel channel, but I guess I didn't really think in my brain that I was like, oh damn, like my brother's gonna go to college. He's obviously gonna have like his whole like life to live. By the way, when we started that though, I did not know that he was going to be moving out of state to Arizona to go to college. So it just didn't dawn on me. And then obviously as soon as he moved to Arizona and now he's permanently living there, like has his own apartment and everything, and he has no intention whatsoever to come back to California. Like after that, he wants to move to Tennessee. So I'm just kind of like, oh damn, like y'all, I kind of abandoned that channel over there, kind of like how I abandoned this channel over here. I'm like over here, literally like starting this, abandoning it, starting that, abandoning it. You know what I'm saying? But recently, over the past few months, I have kind of, okay, look, I'm gonna be so fair with you guys. In September, August, okay, around that time, August, September, like I just recently have fallen in love with playing stupid ass slot machines, okay? And I'm gonna be so fair with you guys. For those of you that had follow on the travel channel, I had said for the longest time we would go on the cruises for free because my mom's a big time gambler, so she gets all these offers for free cruises, okay? My mom has been telling me for years with the travel channel, do slot content. She's like, oh my gosh, like there's so many slot channels out there and these fools are getting the views, blah, 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 blah. My mom did say that like years ago. However, I was like, yeah, when I would go to the casino, I'm gonna be so fair with you guys. I'd be like, oh, $50 is my budget. Like, I'm just gonna, little $50, you know what I'm saying? And that's just it. Because, yeah, it was fun to me, but I wasn't too drawn into it. But something happened this year where I'm like, oh my God, why are these stupid ass slot machines so fun? And recently, like, honestly, all over the past 6 months, like, I have just been wrapped up in these damn slot machines. So I decided to turn my travel channel into a slot machine channel, which by the way, I guess technically is kind of like travel because I am going around to different casinos. My first couple of videos, they're not up just yet, but they are going to be within the next week. You guys will see if you guys follow along to that, which by the way, I'll leave a link down below. I changed it from Fat Bros Travel to Tim's Tiny Spins. By the way, it's Tim's Tiny Spins because I am a low roller, okay? Like, y'all, I can't keep up with these high rollers out there. Like, if you guys have ever seen any of these slot channels out there, like, y'all, they be doing, like, $250 spins. I'm over here, like, $1. And $1 to me is kind of like high because y'all, I'd be like looking for the 50-cent ones. I will every now and then go up to like, you know, $5 a spin if I am winning, not like straight up. And these fools, oh my God, y'all, they be starting off at like $250 a spin and they'll go all the way up to like $2,500 a spin. Like, I don't know if you guys know this guy, his name's NG Slots. He's like really, really popular here on YouTube. And y'all be watching some of his slot content and literally within one live, he'll gamble $100,000. Like, obviously he's super rich. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, you got to start somewhere. And I'm like, you know what? I'm having so much damn fun with this stupid ass slot machine stuff that I was like, you know what? I'm going to switch this channel and turn it into that. So that is my yum because I got to keep it with you guys. It is something so out of my wheelhouse. It's something so different because you literally just like set up your phone in front of the slot machine and obviously just give commentary while you're playing the slots or whatever. So I have been filming in public recently, y'all, which has been something that I wanted to do for the longest time because I'm such an overthinker. And I told you guys this before when it came down to my travel channel that I'm like, oh my Lord, y'all, like I just can't do it. Like me and my brother would be on the ships and my brother would kind of get like a little irritated with me because I would just get so, you know, timid, I guess, which is so crazy because I'm not a shy person whatsoever. But to have a camera on me and to be like in public, like people look at you and I don't know why, like I think that I'm finally like getting over that. But you know what's so weird? And this is so dumb to be quite honest with you guys. It's because the camera's not facing me, the camera's facing the slot machine. So in my head, it's just kind of like, well, I'm not really like talking to the camera. Do you know what I mean? I have my little mic on me, but then the camera's like facing, or my phone really is facing the slot machine. So I'm like, okay, it's not really me on it, which by the way, a lot of people like stop and stare and stuff, but I don't know. I've really been having fun with that, and I really do hope that it takes off because, oh my God, y'all, it's kind of like my new little hobby, which I'm gonna be real with you guys. It's like a real dangerous hobby because, you know, you could lose money real fast, and obviously every single casino is geared, you know, for the person to lose. Like they always say, the house always wins, which is 100% true. Like even the best, you know, casinos out there with the highest payouts, it's like they still only pay out like 90 cents to the dollar, which obviously you're still going to lose. Like, it's very rare where you're going to find somewhere that's like a dollar for dollar. Do you know what I'm saying? So it could be very dangerous. However, if you obviously know your budget, you know your limits, you know when to stop, you know what I mean? As long as you obviously gamble responsibly, then it won't be that dangerous. You know what I'm saying? So that is my yum, which I'm super excited about. And I hope you guys support me over there, which, by the way, it's going to be solely slot content. Like, every now and then, I guess I may, you know, throw like a little intro in there of like, I don't know, a casino on top of, you know, or inside of one of the ships that I'm on, or maybe, you know, in Vegas or whatever. You know what I mean? There may be like a little aspect of travel to it. But just letting you guys know, it's pretty much just going to be slots. So yeah, if you guys are not interested in that, then maybe you guys won't like that channel. But hopefully you guys are, so that way you guys can go check it out, because I'm really excited about that. I don't want to like spoil anything, but oh my gosh, y'all, like literally my second video, which you guys will see, it's a good one. You guys are going to see, y'all. Like, I literally was at the casino crying. Okay. Anyways, y'all. Okay. So I want to go ahead and jump into this with some, like, you know, topics of things that I wanted to talk about. The very first thing I feel like I need to like get this off of my chest, okay? If you guys do not follow along with my everyday videos on my main channel, I try my hardest, obviously, to not talk about controversial topics. The reason for that being is because no matter what I say, no matter what I do, I'm going to get somebody pressed. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, if I really do get out there, and let's say, for example, if I say something bad about Republicans, the Republicans are going to get mad at me. If I say something bad about, like, the Democrats, then obviously the Democrats are going to get mad at me. It's like, it's a losing, like a lose-lose battle. Do you know what I'm saying? So I really, when it comes down to politics, try to just keep shut. Obviously, I do have my thoughts and opinions about everything. However, I'm going to be so real with you guys. I feel like everybody this day and age, they really can't handle a difference of opinion. And y'all know that I have opened up about this on my main channel numerous amounts of times, that I really do feel like I grew up privileged in the aspect to where I'm like, damn, like my family is so diverse and everybody is so, how do I say this? Like, everyone's so open-minded to hear a difference of opinion. Like, nobody sits over here and jumps down somebody's throat the way people do on the internet. And I'm like, I got to keep it real with you guys. I think that that is a little bit scary to see how people act when they see somebody having a difference of opinion. Like, all of a sudden, people have really viewed people of the other party as in like somebody that we need to go to war with. And I'm like, you guys, like, most people are not like as strict and as abrasive and as aggressive as, you know, the news makes them out to be, or news headlines make them out to be. And I'm just kind of like, y'all, like me, because I'm a very open-minded person, I'm a very curious person, like, y'all, you guys should hear the conversations that I have with people. I've opened up about this before on live, and thank God people understood where I was coming from. I'm so open-minded that, like, y'all, there are some people within my family who are extremely homophobic, like low-key, like they're anti-gay marriage and whatnot. And I have conversations with them because I'm like, what makes you be this way? Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm just so curious as to like what gets your brain to get wired that way. Like, is it specifically politics? Is it specifically religion? Is it the way that you were, you know, raised? Did something happen to you by a gay person? Like, did you get jumped, you know, at a pride parade? Like, what is the reason? Like, I'm so curious that I want to find this out. You know what I'm saying? So I'm so open-minded to talk to people who I completely don't agree with. And you guys know, I'm sure by now, I've said this time and time again, I'm actually even so open-minded to befriend people that I don't agree with. And y'all, I have a bigger picture in my mind, okay? And I think that a lot of people just don't get that. And to me, you know what's really crazy is maybe I'm being biased over here towards myself, but I really do wish that more people were like me in that regard, to where if you see somebody who is, let's just say, anti-gay marriage or whatever, befriend them. Like, maybe you can get them to learn, change, and grow and open up their mind. Like, obviously people, like, y'all, let's look at every single politician. Like, you know what's so crazy is, like, everybody loves Obama, but Obama was anti-gay marriage for so many years. And obviously, like, look, obviously when he was in office, I want to say gay marriage passed, but there's so many clips on the internet of him saying that he is anti-gay marriage. You know what I mean? So it's like, obviously people evolve. And if you sit here and you cut off everybody who thinks differently than you, then they're not going to be able to evolve. And that's my mindset on it. But that mindset gets me in trouble, because obviously when I sit here and I say, like, hell yeah, I'll be friends with Republicans. Absolutely. I have Republicans in my family. People get pressed on the left. They're like, oh my God, I can't believe, like, oh my God, this is like chickens for KFC. And I'm like, you guys have such a narrow mindset. Like, if you sit here and you just cut ties with everybody who disagrees with you, how are those people ever going to learn, change, and grow? There are several people within my family, and I've said this time and time again, who have been anti-gay marriage, who have, like, obviously evolved as people, and they're so pro-gay marriage now. And I'm like, it's obviously because of all the gays within my family that have been around them that they have obviously got to see, oh my God, like, why do I have this, old school mindset of like, no, a marriage is between a man and a woman, when really at the end of the day, like, this is two consenting adults who just happen to like the same sex, and it's really not that deep. It's not that serious. And obviously, when it comes down into, politics, let's just say we have a, separation of church and state. So when people bring their religion into obviously politics, it's like, no, 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 no. You're going to have to stop your politics right there, or stop your religion right there, because it doesn't have a place within politics. Do you know what I'm saying? So this is where I say, like, I have more so of a open mindset about that. However, I really do try to, avoid talking about this topic. However, y'all know that I'm like a big barb, okay? I love Nicki Minaj. And you know what? I got to keep it with you guys. For those of you that like don't know this, like, I feel like Nicki Minaj was... how do I say this? Like, she was one of the main people that gave me the confidence that I needed so much when I was coming out, because she started to blow up probably about a year after I came out. And I have to say, like, listening to her music, y'all, when I was just so insecure, oh my God, dude, like, when I would go to the gym, y'all, like, oh, I would be bumping Nicki Minaj, and she just gave me that confidence. Like, I really do feel like, damn, that was my girl. And you know what? I'm gonna keep it with you guys. Like, still till this day, obviously, I love her music. Obviously, right now, she is speaking out politically, and a lot of people are like jumping down her throat and throwing away her albums and all this. And I'm like, you guys, like, I'm such an open-minded person. Like, I'm over here, I'm curious to know what she has to say. I'm very curious, if I'm being so for with you guys, why all of a sudden now is she jumping into, political commentary? Why is she now getting out there and saying things? I really do feel this is, call me a conspiracy theorist, okay? I really do think that there's an ulterior motive. I think that she is either trying to seek honorary citizenship. I really do think that maybe she is trying to get some type of legal pardon for her husband. Like, I don't know exactly what it is, but to me, the timing of this just seems off, okay? Like, obviously, there's not an election going on right now, so I'm just kind of like, why all of a sudden is she speaking out about this? Like, why all of a sudden now is she jumping into politics? And because I'm just a curious person, like, I'm not sitting over here like, oh my God, I hate Nicki Minaj. Absolutely not. Like, I'm curious to know her thoughts and opinions on everything. And y'all know me, like, I genuinely do love to hear thoughts and opinions of different people, because to me, I really do think about it. Like, I told you guys before, like, everyone always asks me on YouTube live, like, oh, what YouTube channels do I like to watch? I love to watch Jubilee, y'all, but I actually go into watching a Jubilee video very open-minded. Like, I could go to the left, I could go to the right, honestly. Like, y'all know that I've always said it before, like, I consider myself to be a very down-the-middle person, which, by the way, I've seen comments about me before, specifically on Reddit, to where people say, he plays both sides of the fence. I'm like, that is such a stupid-ass mindset. You guys have to understand that when I see something on the right and I agree with it, then I'm gonna get hate from the left. If I see something on the left and I agree with, then I'm gonna get hate from the right. Like, me being down the middle politically and obviously being open-minded, and I may agree over here, I may agree over here, do you know what I'm saying? I may disagree here, I may disagree there, then I'm getting hate from both parties. Like, obviously it would be way more easy for me to sit there and be like, no, I'm just with this party over here and I disagree with this way over here, because then that way it's like, okay, at least I'm just over here getting hate from one side, but y'all get hate from both sides. So that's why I'm just kind of like, okay, I'm damned if I do, damned if I don't. But realistically, I'm not one of those people. And I gotta keep it real with you guys. Like, oh my God, I saw this trending during the last election to where everyone said vote blue no matter who. I'm like, that seems cult-like to me. Like, honestly, like, as an open-minded person, I'm like, why would I vote blue no matter who? Like, why would I do that? Like, what if I just don't agree with this candidate? What if I don't agree with their policies? Like, what if I just don't like them as a person? What if they have a very shady past? What if they have done something crazy and they're the leading candidate for the blue party? Like, why would I vote blue no matter who? Like, to me, that seems cultish. You know what I'm saying? And obviously, people from the left are going to be like, oh, bitch, like, I can't believe, oh my God, he's a Republican. He's a MAGA. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, like, things have just gotten so damn cutthroat. But when it comes down to Nicki Minaj, and obviously she's a trending topic right now, and obviously you guys know that I love Nicki Minaj, I have to say this, okay, and I will die on this hill, and people hate me for this. Like, y'all, I got to keep it with you guys. I think that over this past year, I think I may have received probably the most amount of hate on my channel since doing commentary, okay? Obviously, when I very first started out back in 2016, when I started doing beauty content, like, yo, that was when I got the most hate, because there wasn't too many boys in beauty, especially fat, bald, bearded ones. Do you know what I mean? So, damn, I got so much hate, but low-key, I thought it was hilarious, because y'all know me, I got a dark sense of humor, so every single joke that somebody would tell me, I'd be like, okay, that's a good one. You know what I mean? But anyways, I feel like, okay, because you know what? I want to talk about this whole thing. Since, you know what? Since we got time over here, I want to talk about this, okay? speaking out politically to me, I'm just like, oh my gosh, y'all. I get irritated when celebrities do it. I'm sorry. And you know what's crazy is me specifically bringing this up. There was within one video and I cut it out on my main channel because I kind of lost my shit, y'all. I made a video talking about Benji Chavez to where he was doing like a club appearance with his homegirl Peka, and he got out there and mind you, he was drunk, everybody was drunk. It was for a Halloween party at a club, okay? And he had got out there and he was like, fuck Palestine, free ICE. Like he said it backwards, but he obviously meant to say the reverse. Do you know what I mean? And I had said within my video, like, I'm sorry, but this is why I'm anti speaking out at a club. Like everyone is drunk, everyone's there to have a good time. Music is blasting, and you're gonna get out there and like say these things. Obviously, so many people disagreed with me on that, and like people are like, "Oh, you should use any platform that you have to speak out." And I'm like, he has a platform of over 1 million people. He could use that platform at a club. I don't want to hear it. Okay, I do not care if I agree with the statement. Like I even said before about Nicki Minaj. Ironically enough, in that video, I had said I was at Nicki Minaj's concert, and she's over here like giving a whole spiel about stay in school, and I'm sitting over here like, everyone next to me is in their 30s and 40s, girl. Like, there ain't no, like, young teens up in here. Like, girl, we're old. Like, why are you sitting here stopping your whole damn show? I was just in the middle of shaking my ass and titties. And then here you are talking about, like, oh, make sure you get your high school diploma. I'm like, boo, ain't nobody of the age to get a high school diploma up in here. Like, damn, we're all old as shit. Like, and you're over here talking about, like, shut up and get to the damn music. Do you know what I mean? People got so pressed at me, and y'all, I'm gonna be so for with you guys. I got so triggered that this one girl who was, judging by the looks of her profile picture, okay, because she did have a private account. She was following me though at the time on Instagram. She felt the need to go out of her way to DM me, specifically from that Benji video, and specifically of me saying that I just feel like people shouldn't be speaking out about shit like that when they're drunk at a club. Because look, he ended up looking stupid, you know what I mean? And of course, everyone's like, oh my God, he said fuck Palestine. It's like, he totally didn't mean that. And from the very first clip that I saw, I was like, oh, he didn't mean that. Do you know what I mean? But of course, people were going to jump with it because they're so fucking dramatic. And it's so crazy that this woman felt the need to say, you know what, I've been watching you for the past 4 years now, but you encouraging people to not use their platforms to speak out. Nope, this is where I draw the line. I'm unsubscribing from everything. And I'm like, okay, toodles, girl. Like, what the hell? Like, that's my opinion. I firmly believe that you should not be out at a damn club while you're drunk speaking out about shit like this. If I wanted to hear political stuff, I would go to a rally. I would go to a town hall meeting. I would go to an election booth. Do you know what I'm saying? I would go to a political commentator. Like, me hearing out things at the club, like, I don't want to hear it. Do you know what I mean? And I'm so sorry. That's my opinion. That video was months ago, and guess what? I still have the same opinion. Like, that's something that I'm not going to change my mind on, is because me personally, I sit here and I doom scroll through social media all damn day long. Okay, TikTok is obviously like my number one addiction in life, and I'm sitting over here like, and I hear all this political shit. Like, when I go out, it's because I'm either mad, depressed, sad, or celebrating. And it's like, I want to get away from all of this. And me going to have some drinks and hearing music is like, I'm in my zen. I don't want to hear this shit, okay? And the fact that this woman got out there to say like, oh, I'm encouraging people to not use their platform, I never said that whatsoever. What I'm saying is go onto your social media and say it. Like, if you have a message to say, go onto your social media and say it. Obviously, at this club, there's probably like, what? Like, I don't know, maybe 500, 600 people there. Like, people really, this day and age, this is just my firm belief, people want to hear their thoughts regurgitated to them to make them feel validated. And to me, I'm never going to be that, because guess what? If I have an opinion about something, I don't need somebody else to say it back to me at a club or at a sporting event or at a concert. I don't need to hear that back, because I'm strong enough within my belief and I have enough confidence mentally to know that, hey, even if I have an unpopular opinion, that's just my opinion. I don't need somebody else to agree with me. And I really have found that so many people want to hear their thoughts literally regurgitated back to them. And I'm like, oh my God, like, whatever your opinion is, like, if you're over here Free Palestine, then hell yeah, ride with Free Palestine. You don't need Benji or Nicki Minaj or freaking Ariana Grande to say these things back to you. People go to, you know, all these celebrities and influencers, speak out about this, speak out about that. I'm like, no, like, and when it comes down to Nicki Minaj, y'all, like, this is where I'm just kind of like, y'all know I love Nicki, but I'm like, girl, shut up. Like, shut up. Like, honestly, I have said this before. I made a Patreon video talking about Nicki Minaj, and I was like, I love her to death, but I'm like, I want to take away her phone. I want to tell her to shut up, stop. Like, girl, stop. Like, literally, she goes off on these, you know, tangents, and people are like, oh, she's going off on a coke rant again. And I'm like, oh, low key, I'm like, girl, just put your phone down. Like, I really do feel like she spirals big time. And I'm like, girl, you need to put the phone down. And I'm like, this is where I say, to me, celebrities, I don't want to hear political stuff from celebrities. And obviously we know now, because y'all know, obviously, look at Taylor Swift. She came out and she endorsed Kamala right before the election. Did Kamala win? No, she didn't. And Taylor Swift is like the most, popular celebrity at the time, you know what I mean? Because of her Eras tour. And I'm like, clearly we know that celebrities don't really have any type of sway when it comes down to elections. So I personally don't give a shit to hear celebrities talk about politics, because at the end of the day, they're obviously not educated in it. That's why I always say I try to not talk about politics whatsoever, because I'm not educated in it. So many people were telling me, y'all, when the whole Free Palestine thing was happening, I was like, I'm not going to talk about anything. I don't know what's going on over there. Like, I hear this over here and I hear this over there, and I don't know what's true, because obviously I'm not there, and I obviously, haven't like taken a freaking course about this. So I'm not going to speak out about shit. Do you know what I mean? Because I don't know about it. But then also, like I said, I have really found that when people sit here and say to their favorite influencers, speak out about this, speak out about that, they just want to hear their very own thoughts and they want to be validated. And to me, I'm sorry, but that's how you know you're insecure within your own train of thought. Like, if you are secure and confident within your beliefs and your opinions and your thoughts, then you don't need to hear it from somebody else, okay? This is where I say, like, with Nicki Minaj, like, I'm sitting over here, like, as a barb, I'm sitting over here, like, girl, if you don't shut your fucking mouth, girl, just shut up, shut up. You know what I'm saying? However, I know at the end of the day that even if I disagree with her politically or whatever, I'm like, I can still enjoy her music, okay? Because she's not over here like doing illegal shit. Do you know what I mean? She's not like R. Kelly. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, I don't know. I just really have found though that people just, I don't know, take things a little bit too much, you know what I mean? And on top of that too, I feel like people look to celebrities too much to validate them. And that's just not me. I do have to say, I wish that she would, not be talking about political stuff, y'all. I just wish that she would just be quiet. I'm so sorry. Like, that's my little 2 cents on it. You know what I mean? As far as her getting out there, though, like, call me, like I said earlier, call me a conspiracy theorist. I think that there's something up with it, though. Like, I'm like, what? This is random. This is random. Like, Trump has been in office now for what, 1 year? And all of a sudden now she's getting out there. Like, y'all, right when the elections were going down, it's not like she was sitting over here endorsing him. Do you know what I mean? Like, she didn't come out and say, like, I endorse him, which, by the way, she's not an American citizen. So her endorsement really, I guess, would just be obviously for the public. You know what I mean? It obviously wouldn't be at the polling booth because she can't even vote. So that's where I'm sitting over here like, this is weird to me. Like, I really do think that she is looking to get some type of honorary citizenship. I really do think that maybe she is looking to get a pardon for her husband, like maybe get him taken off of Megan's Law. Like, I don't know, y'all. Like, I really do feel like there is something going on over here. And I really do feel like there is an ulterior motive, because this is random as shit to me. I'm sitting over here like, girl, why now? Like, this is just a little weird. And I'm sorry, but my brain starts going to all these places of like, what's the reason? What's the reason for this? But I still die on this hill, and I know people hate me for it. I don't want to hear politics from celebrities or influencers. Like, I mean, obviously, unless you're like a political influencer who's like really extremely, what's the word that I'm looking for? Like, educated on the topic. Do you know what I mean? And can I tell you guys something? Speaking of which, okay, you know what's funny? On a live before, people were saying like, oh, have you watched Candace Owens? And I'm like, yeah, actually, I watched quite a bit of Candace Owens. People are like, oh my God, she's right-wing this, she's right-wing that. And then all of a sudden now they love her, because now she's like over here, she speaks out about Trump and she says all these things, and everyone all of a sudden loves Candace Owens. And I was like, I told my live, hopefully somebody in the chat literally was on that live, because I was like, you guys, I was like, I actually don't feel like she's as, crazy MAGA and like super Republican and super, I don't know, like, what's the word that I'm looking for? Like, extremist as people make her out to be, because I've watched a lot of her podcasts in their entirety, and I'm like, I don't get those vibes from her. And I'm like, it's so crazy that now all of a sudden everyone loves her. And I'm just kind of like, okay, like, people need to obviously look into things a little bit more. Don't just see clips, okay? Because can I tell you guys something? Another little tangent over here that I want to go off on is, I don't understand how people in 2025, damn near 2026, are still believing salacious headlines and salacious clips. Obviously, when you're on a podcast that's an hour long, you're going to take a controversial clip that's 30 seconds long or a minute or somebody else is, and they're going to spin a narrative to it. Like, we should all know that now, which, yes, it is very shady, but people can put a compilation video together of Candace and make her look real horrible. Obviously, if everything is taken out of context, do you know what I mean? But when you actually sit down and you watch, a lot of, I'm not going to say like I've watched every single one of her podcasts in their entirety, but I've watched quite a few, you know, and I'm like, I don't think that she's as extreme as everybody makes her out to be. And now all of a sudden people are seeing that. So I don't know. I just feel like people need to stick to listening to their political commentators. Like, please, like, we don't need to sit here. Like, for me, y'all, like, I say, for example, like, I really like Trisha Paytas. I don't need to hear Trisha Paytas talk about this or that or whatever, you know, within my belief, because I feel like at the end of the day, like, I'm comfortable within my belief, and that's my thoughts, that's my opinion, and I stand 10 toes down on that, and I don't need to hear it from anybody else. So hopefully you guys understand where I'm coming from when I say that, of like people getting out here and say, speak about this, speak about that. It's like, oh my God, like, why are you even telling people to speak about that? Like, it's like, damn, if people aren't educated, then maybe they shouldn't speak about it. Do you know what I mean? Anyways, next topic up on the list that I wanted to like just briefly talk about, okay? Because if you guys, this is actually not even something that I wrote down within my notepad, but this is just something that I wanted to talk about a little bit more in depth, okay? If you guys did not check out one of my videos, actually I had this pre-scheduled and filmed and edited and all that good stuff, and it uploaded while I was on my cruise. So I did not have service to respond to some comments. And the video was titled Famous Influencer, what did I title it? Something along the lines of Famous Influencer calls out a parking meter for being fatophobic. Y'all, I have seen another video of that same influencer. I believe her name's Samira or Samira, something like that. And basically what she claims to be is all like, you know, fat positive and body positive and things like that, to where she was calling out, and it was legit. A lot of people at first thought that she was being, you know, like facetious and just kind of like joking about it. No, she's legit, y'all. She ended up making another video, if you guys don't know what I'm talking about. So her first video went super viral. They even put it on the damn news, y'all. That's how viral it went, because she popped off on a parking meter for saying like, oh, like, don't feed me on this days or whatever. So she said that it was perpetuating diet culture. And I'm sitting over here like, it's a cute little play on words, because obviously like it has a little mouth on it to put the coins in, and it was saying like, don't feed me on these days or whatever. And I'm like, she was calling it like fat phobic. And I am so sorry, y'all. This is where I have to say, and this is where I wish that more people would speak out about this. This is where I say that I feel like we live in such an extremely privileged world, okay? The fact that we are over here in America and we obviously complain about being overweight. Like, y'all, I'm gonna be the first bitch to tell you guys, okay? When I very first needed a seatbelt extender on a plane, like, I was sitting over there like, oh my God, like, I have to ask for a seatbelt extender. Like, shit was embarrassing. Do you know what I mean? Like, there has been so many times, y'all, that I haven't been able to fit on roller coasters, and I'm sitting over here like, this is my fault. I'm doing this to myself. Do you know what I mean? And I'm like, it's so crazy that we get to live in America to where we can bitch about things like this. And I'm like, y'all, there's children starving. There's people starving in other countries, in like third world countries. And here we are, you know, her being a bigger individual and her being out there and bitching about a parking meter. I'm sitting over here like, damn, girl, you're so privileged. Like, you are so damn privileged that you're over here tripping about a parking meter. You're popping off on a parking meter. Like, what the hell? To me, that's when I was like, people need to speak out more about this, because she thinks that she's doing good by obviously sitting here saying that she's being body positive, and she's, you know, calling this out and saying that the city of West Hollywood is fat phobic or whatever because they're promoting diet culture. And I'm sitting over here like, or we can just take it for what it is, and it's just a cute little slogan. They're like cracking like a little joke, trying to be cutesy on a damn parking meter. Like, how miserable is your life that you have to pop off on a damn parking meter? Like, to me, I'm sitting over here like, there is so many other things within my life that I can pop off on. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like there's just so much more that y'all give me 1 second. I'm so sorry, y'all. I was getting a call in the middle of that. I was like, oh, this looks important. Anyways, I just feel like there's so many other things like within my life that I could pop off on. Do you know what I mean? And sitting over here complaining about a parking meter, like, I really have realized, okay, and thank God that I'm like able to, and not even just able to, because to me that sounds like, oh, I'm like so privileged or whatever. And it's like, y'all, I really don't make that much money. You know what I mean? But anybody out there who wants to, okay, I'm pretty sure you can afford to travel. It's really not expensive if you go on off season, okay? But what I was going to say is, I'm obviously so happy that I'm able to travel as much as I do, because I get to go to these other countries and I start to realize the shit that Americans bitch about. I'm like, we're so privileged. All of us are so privileged, and we sit over here and we point fingers at each other like, you're privileged, you're privileged, you're privileged. And it's like, y'all, we're all privileged over here compared to a lot of these other countries. Do you know what I'm saying? So the fact that I'm seeing her over here and she doubled down on it, even though she was called out by the news, by so many podcasters, by so many YouTubers, by so many TikTokers, so many people called her out, and she doubled down on it and made another video. And she said, nope, they're still over here perpetuating diet culture, and they're still over here being fat phobic. And this is obviously like a jab towards fat people in the city of West Hollywood. And I'm sitting over here like, girl, you got too much time on your hands. Like, to me, this is absolutely insane. And she actually commented back to somebody, and I read that within the video that I had made, and she said, no, what's insane is that how normalized a fat phobia is. And I'm like, yo, like, it's crazy to me. And the fact that she literally doubled down on it, I'm like, ay, ay, ay. I got to keep it with you guys. This is where I think like people are just kind of losing it these days. And I'm like, whoa, when I see stuff like this on the internet, I'm like, I can't believe you're bitching about a parking meter. Like, girl, you're bitching about a parking meter being fat phobic. Like, what the hell? Like, to me, it's just crazy. And I'm so sorry. Like, y'all know, look, I have right now, luckily, okay, I mean, I probably look real fat right now because I just recently got off my cruise and I kind of ate a bit, and I haven't taken my Zepbound in like 3 weeks now. Because I was thinking about like dwindling it down. I was like, okay, girl, like maybe you shouldn't like get, hooked on this. I'm gonna be real with you guys. Like, low key, I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna stay on Zepbound forever. But then I was like, oh my God, I don't know the long-term side effects. So I'm like, maybe I shouldn't do that. You know what I mean? But I, stopped taking it just to see. And I'm like, oh yeah, like I'm back to being hungry. But anyways, what I was going to say is, luckily I'm down on weight right now a little bit. But y'all know, if you guys have been following me for some time, oh my God, it's like 300 pounds. Then I get down to 250. Then I go back up to 300. And then I go down to 225. And then I go back up to 300. It's like a never ending yo-yo. So this is obviously coming from somebody who has lived their whole entire life being fat. I've never been skinny. Still technically right now, like I'm still technically 30 pounds overweight. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like sometimes, one, we need to obviously hold ourselves, accountable for some things, because I got to keep it real. I'm speaking for myself. I know that there are people out there with medical conditions. Obviously, you have like thyroid issues and whatnot. I'm not speaking for those people, but I'm speaking for myself. I don't have a thyroid issue, and I don't have a issue of like, oh, I just pack on the pounds. Like, I don't know, I'm eating a piece of salad and it's just like, oh, like packing on the weight. Like, that's not me, y'all. I get fat because I eat a lot, and I know that, and I can keep it real with myself and be so real with you guys and say that low key sometimes I really do think that I do have a food addiction, because I've said this before, like there's something wrong within my brain. Like, when something is good to me, why the fuck do I need to sit there and have like, y'all, like I love the pumpkin recess cups. Like, well, not cups, but like, what, like during Halloween time, okay, they come out with a recess that it's meant to be shaped like a damn, pumpkin. But then I'm like, it really looks like a blob. Like, low key, if I'm keeping it a buck with you guys, it looks like my stomach. And I'm like, this does not look like a pumpkin whatsoever. But anyways, y'all, why, when I get like, I'll get a bag of those, during Halloween, and I'm like, I will sit there and eat the whole bag. I'm being so serious. Like, why do I have to do that? As to where I know several other people who can just have one or two. I sit there and I'm like, no, bitch, I need 10. Like, why is that? And obviously I, have some type of like, eating addiction. And that's obviously why I blow up in weight so fast. So this is where I say like, a lot of us out there, we got to hold ourselves responsible. And it's so crazy because I love to watch like Dr. Now and now Extremely Obese on TLC, if you guys don't watch those. And it's so crazy that you get to see, extremely large people, and they sit there and they try to blame this and blame that. And it's like, okay, as soon as they get put onto a diet, then they lose weight. And it's like, okay, well, clearly it wasn't that all along. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like sometimes we do have to, just keep it real with ourselves and maybe admit that, yeah, maybe we do have, a little bit of an addiction to food, and that's fine. But I feel like the first step to, fixing that and changing that is obviously acknowledging it and accepting it and owning it, which I feel like a lot of people lack. If I'm just keeping it a buck with you guys, at least I could keep it real with my fat ass self and always be like, you know what, I gained the weight because of me. It ain't because of no damn medical condition. It ain't, some shit like, oh, it's hereditary, which, yeah, don't get me wrong, my parents are fat too, you know what I mean? But obviously, I'm in control of what's going in my mouth. Do you know what I mean? Anyways, I just want to talk about that a little bit more, because I got to say, like, y'all, I was really triggered by that. I was like, girl, like, why are you, sitting over here, like, tripping about a parking meter? Like, oh my God. Like, to me, it's just a bit much, okay? Speaking of, okay, I'm not even going to play the clip for you guys because I'm trying to not do that. Obviously being that this is, a podcast, I don't want it to be like my main channel to where I'm like inserting clips of things. I don't want to do that. So I'm going to tell you guys about it, okay? So speaking of holding yourself responsible, there was this guy on board a Royal Caribbean ship, okay? And y'all knew I love to go on cruises. On Royal Caribbean, I love specifically on Royal Caribbean because, okay, I'm going to sound like an alcoholic, okay? But you guys have to think about this. And for the drinkers out there, please defend me in the chat, please. Because I know that the people that don't really drink much are going to sit over here and be like, oh my God, 15 drinks a day is a lot. Like, how could you have 15 drinks a day? Let me tell you, like on Carnival, for example, when you go on a Carnival cruise, you're limited to only 15 drinks per day. Now, I know that may sound like a lot. Do keep in mind, though, on Carnival, if you get the drink package, like a milkshake will count as one of your drinks, okay? A smoothie in the morning, if you want to go to like one of the breakfast places and get a smoothie, that will count as one of your drinks. But if I'm being so fair with you guys, okay, if I decided to have some mimosas for my breakfast, okay, and then I were to like drink in the nighttime, I could very easily go way over 15 drinks within a day. Okay, we're talking about a full day here of like me getting up at like, I don't know, 10 o'clock in the morning, have a drink at 11, and then obviously all throughout the day. You can run through 15 really, really fast, okay? I know that may sound like I'm like a freaking alcoholic and whatnot. I totally get that for the people that are like, oh, I have like 2 drinks a day. Well, that's not me. Okay. Like I could literally sit here. Y'all have seen it before up on a live and I could drink like a whole damn 12 pack. You know what I mean? Like if I'm on a live for like 6 hours, I could run through a damn 12 pack. Okay. Which, yes, I know to a lot of people out there, it sounds crazy. Like I have really learned to some people, it sounds crazy, but then to some, like, oh yeah, I could go through 24. I'm like, I'm not the only one. Like if I'm chilling, you know what's so crazy is if I'm out, I drink way less. But if I'm chilling, y'all, I could throw them back. I don't know why. And it's so crazy that my friends are the same way. Like if we're just sitting, chilling, drinking, like y'all, we'd be like, wait, we went through that 12 pack already? Like what the hell? Like I don't know what it is. Like there's obviously probably something like, I don't know, scientific behind it that like when you're out and the music's loud and there's like, you know, strobe lights and shit, that shit makes you more drunk than just sitting on your couch. So anyways, hopefully there's some drinkers out there like me, because I'm like, y'all, I know I sound really bad, but anyways, on board one of the Royal Caribbean ships, this guy, he ended up drinking 33 drinks. Oh, duh, I didn't even tell you guys. On Royal Caribbean, they don't have a limit of drinks. And this is what I'm scared for, y'all, because people just can't be responsible, okay? This guy had 33 drinks and he was completely belligerent. So the onboard security / police, like whatever they are, like y'all dealing with these like maritime laws, I'm still so confused by it, because it's like at the end of the day, when you're like at a boat, like the person on, like, say for example, the, how do you call them? Oh my gosh, like the, I don't want to say pilot. He's not a pilot. Oh my God. Like the cruise captain. Oh my Lord. I could not think of the name. The cruise captain is kind of like the president. Do you know what I mean? Like they're the ones that are like in control of everything when it comes down to maritime law, and they obviously can do things their own way when it comes down to enforcing the law and things like that. Anyways, so the police on board basically had to detain this man because he was so completely belligerent. He was trying to kick down the door. Like there's videos of it. You guys can Google it. I have one saved and I was thinking about putting it in here, but I was like, let me just describe it to you. So they ended up detaining him. And I guess apparently the way they detained him, and I think that maybe he had like something else in his system. I don't really know. Or maybe they put something in him to like calm him down. I don't really know. He ended up passing away. Okay. This man had 33 drinks, and now the family is suing Royal Caribbean for allowing him to have 33 drinks, okay? And I gotta keep it so real with you guys. As somebody who, y'all, like over the past 2 years, I think I went on 7, maybe 8 Royal Caribbean cruises. I love the fact that they don't have a limit to their drinks. And now, obviously, I feel like they're going to have a limit to it. And it's like just one person. It just takes one person to freaking ruin it for everybody. But where I'm sitting over here is like, this is a grown ass man. I forget his age, but he's grown. Like he's not even in his 20s. I want to say he was in his 30s or 40s. I'm like, this is a grown ass man. And now their family, or his family, is suing Royal Caribbean for allowing him to have 33 drinks. What happened to holding ourselves accountable? Like that's where I'm sitting over here like, that's his fault. Like if I go out there, y'all, and I chug a whole bottle of vodka, that's my fault. Is my family gonna sue Smirnoff? Do you know what I mean? Like, no, I took the bottle, I chugged it. It's me. It's my fault. Like, I just don't understand that we live in this world now to where people are out here like, let me sue Royal Caribbean because my husband drank 33 drinks. It's like nobody forced him to drink them. Nobody from the ship said, hey, you need to drink all these drinks or you're not allowed on this ship. We're going to kick you off. Like nobody held a gun to his head and said, drink 33 drinks. He did that to himself. Okay. Like this is where I start losing my mind low key, if I'm being so honest with you guys, because I'm sitting over here like, sir, well, I mean, he's passed away, unfortunately, but like the family, I'm like, he did that. Like, and you know what's so crazy for the family? I'm assuming, I think it was his wife, okay, that like started the lawsuit. Like, why wasn't she telling her husband to stop drinking? Like, why wasn't she saying, hey, like, you need to stop? Like, you know what I mean? Like, the fact that you're going to get out there and just get sue happy and try to sue Royal Caribbean, y'all, I don't know. I don't like it. I'm so sorry. And I'm not even trying to be insensitive whatsoever. Like, it really does suck that this man lost his life. But at the end of the day, we do got to keep it real. Like, if he gets out there, he passes away from having 33 drinks, okay? People if that happens in the future, they're going to get triggered to sue again. Do you know what I'm saying? And it's obviously going to snowball into nobody taking self-accountability. And at the end of the day, this was a grown ass man. Do you know what I mean? Like, this is not a kid. This is not somebody who was like, forced to do this. It's like, no, you're on vacation. You took it upon yourself to get belligerent. And like, y'all, look up the video. You guys will see the video. He was completely belligerent, trying to kick the freaking door down, like being absolutely insane. Okay. So I'm sitting over here like, y'all, I've been drunk as shit. I'm not that type of drunk, like, whatsoever. I have, like, literally never got belligerent like that to where I'm gonna sock the wall and kick down a door and get crazy like that. Like, never once. Y'all, I'm 35 years old, about to be 36, and I'm like, y'all, I've been tipsy in public numerous times, never been arrested. Do you know what I mean? Knock on wood. But I'm just sitting over here like, at some point you got to realize like, okay, you're kind of the problem. And I feel like this man's family knows, like, I'm sure he's probably gotten like this before. And I hate that, yes, okay, there's some people out there that are probably thinking that I'm insensitive or whatever, but I'm like, at the end of the day, people need to hold themselves responsible for things, like have some self-accountability. Like, I just feel like we start getting into this really tricky point in society. If we sit here and we point fingers at everybody else rather than ourselves, then it's kind of like, damn, we're going to get to a place to where everyone's just going to not take any type of accountability and just look to blame people. Like, they're going to get out there and freaking run somebody over and say, oh, well, they shouldn't have been wearing, green or whatever because they blended in with the grass behind them. It's like, no, you ran them over. Like, what the hell? It's your fault. Like, it's just crazy to me. And I'm so sorry. I hate that that sounds insensitive because it really is unfortunate that this man passed away, but I'm just kind of like, maybe don't have 33 drinks. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys, maybe I am being a little bit selfish that I'm over here like Royal Caribbean's gonna change their policy now, and I think that that really does suck because I'm like, y'all, it's happened to me a couple times on Carnival cruises to where they're like, oh, you're at your limit, and I'm like, I'm at my limit. I'm like, it's only 10 p.m. Like, what the hell? Like, shit, I'm gonna be up all night. Like, what you mean? And then I'll be like, oh, it's because I had 2 smoothies and it's because I had a milkshake. Like, okay, that was 3 of them right there. And then, if you decide to get like a mocktail, that counts as 1 too. So I'm sitting over here like, damn, y'all. There was one other thing that I wanted to talk about, okay? There was this post. Let me read it for you guys, okay? As a bald person, I just had to talk about this, okay? Because I keep on seeing all these different posts about like, oh, they're finding a cure for male pattern baldness, and like, there's something like, was it at USC or UCLA? Like, I don't know, some type of like, I don't know, scientists or whatever figured out like a way to regrow dead hair cells, okay? Or sorry, regrow dead hair follicles. Sorry, that's what I meant to say. So like, there's all these different things now. So maybe because I like interact with them or whatever, like it pops up on my timeline. So on X, or I hate calling it X, so I'm gonna call it Twitter forever. I don't give a shit, okay? On Twitter, somebody, well, not somebody, but this like, current report posted permanent cure for male pattern baldness. Okay, it says Cosmo has released its phase 3 trial results for this new clastorol. I can't pronounce that shit. 5% solution showing highly promising outcomes as treatment delivered a 539% increase in hair growth compared to a placebo. Okay. This person, and this ended up going viral, y'all, having over 3 million views on their post. Put on there, we have diseases like PCOS, fibromyalgia, endometriosis, which significantly reduces a woman's quality of life with no treatment, and women are told to just deal with it. But yes, let's cure male pattern baldness. I have so many damn thoughts about this, okay? And we're going to need you to have an open mind here so you can stay on track with my thoughts and opinions here about this and why I specifically wanted to talk about it. I see several different things, right, to where a specific scientist is out there trying to find a cure for this, and somebody bitches and complains about it, okay? This person who was sitting over there doing all of these clinical studies and trials and everything like that to help regrow hair. Do you know what I'm saying? Which, by the way, it doesn't just affect men. It affects women too. Like, there are women out there, obviously, who have, let's say, like alopecia or, even just thin hair. Like, y'all, like some of the women in my family just naturally have very thin hair. Do you know what I mean? And obviously, this could help everybody out. Do you know what I'm saying? But people get out there and they start bitching about all these other things, which, yes, she has very valid points as far as like all these other things that don't have any cures. But it's like 2 things can be happening at once. Like, I'm so sure that there are so many scientists out there in the world right now that are trying to cure those diseases or those conditions that she is specifically talking about. Well, you get out here and you bitch about this as if this one person can do it all. Do you know what I mean? And this is where I'm sitting over here like, damn, what's up with people like just bitching about any and everything? Like, to me, it's kind of crazy that you have obviously scientists out there who specialize in things like, okay, I'm gonna go for like, hair regrowth. Like, that's what I'm scientifically drawn to. And you have people out there who are scientifically drawn to freaking creating nuclear bombs. Do you know what I mean? And then you have other people out there trying to cure this and cure that. Like, Obviously, two things can be happening at the same exact time. And the fact that this person got out there to bitch and complain about this, and it went super viral. But I am so glad, though, that a lot of people were saying, like, girl, like, why are you sitting over here bitching about this? Like, oh my gosh. They started posting like clinical trials for all of these things that she had mentioned that were actually in the works of finding a cure for. So I'm sitting over here like, damn, it just really teaches me, though, that people just love to bitch. And I'm just like, why do you need to get out there and be so pressed about this when I'm like, y'all, two things can be happening at once? It's like if I sit out there and I'm like, oh my gosh, they find a cure for obesity, a permanent cure for obesity, but then I'm gonna sit over here and bitch about, oh my God, but then how come they don't have a cure for this? How come they don't have a cure? It's like, whoa, like sometimes some things are a little bit more easy to find a solution to. Do you know what I'm saying? Like people act as if like every single scientist on the face of the planet literally, I said planted. Put all of their efforts together to cure male pattern baldness. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, that's why I'm sitting over here like, do you really think that every single doctor, every single scientist, every single RN, every single person within the medical world and scientific world all said, let's combine together and let's not focus on HIV and cancer and this and that and this and that and only focus on baldness? No, there are people out there. And that's why I'm so glad that people were actually posting links to clinical trials and things like that of, success rates and things like that for the conditions that she was talking about. I was like, okay, I'm so glad that people are doing that, because I'm like, you're bitching about this and it's like, girl, like calm down. People, there's several different scientists in the world. Like obviously people are going to, be working on different things. Okay. And on top of that too, like to me, it's so crazy to make a post like that, because I'm like, you really think that every single scientist is over here specifically only working on male pattern baldness? Like to me, then I could get behind her. Then I would be like, oh, okay, like I understand where she's coming from, because oh my gosh, they're taking every single resource in the world to only focus on male baldness. Do you know what I mean? Then I would understand where she's coming from, but that's not the case whatsoever. So I'm like, it just leads me to believe that people just bitch just to bitch. And I'm like, oh my God, y'all. I don't know. I got to keep it real with you guys, okay? The older I get, the more I realize life is so short, okay? And y'all know, if you guys have watched my channel long enough, like I am just one of those people in the world, okay, who is looking at the glass half full. And I think the older that I get, the more I feel that way as well, because I'm sitting over here like, damn, y'all, we're gonna die. Like all of us are gonna die. You know what I mean? So I'm like, am I gonna sit here, be miserable, bitch every day, wake up in the morning and think about like, what can I bitch about today? Like, oh my gosh, what can I get on the internet to bitch about today? No, I'm getting out here like, oh my gosh, like what could I be happy about? Do you know what I mean? Like what good news could I see? What good news could I bring? Like, what could bring joy to somebody's life today rather than bitch? And I'm just like, I think people need to chill the fuck out and just calm down, take a chill pill, okay? Like smoke a little doobie or something. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, that is it for this very first podcast back. I apologize. This was a fucking hodgepodge of shit. I had absolutely no guideline whatsoever. I just know that I had to hurry up and jump the gun and upload a damn podcast because it's been too long, and YouTube is saying, no bitch, you need to get back to work up on this channel. So look forward to having Genevieve up on here. Hopefully we'll have an episode coming up soon, depending upon her availability, hopefully within the next one. But if not, y'all would just get me again. By the way, I forgot to mention this in the beginning. Oh my God, hopefully you guys stuck around. There may be some episodes that are just like extensions of my main channel videos. So if you guys are not following my Skeleton account to where I upload videos every day, there may be some things, because obviously, as you guys know, that I try to keep those videos like 15 minutes and under. Sometimes there's other things that I want to talk about within there, but then I'm like, oh fuck, let me hurry up because I'm talking too much. You know what I'm saying? They may be several episodes coming to where I'm like, oh, you know what? I want to talk about this that happened during the week, this that happened during the week, that are kind of like extensions of those videos. Okay, just letting you guys know. So, anyways, I don't hit the mic, y'all. Oh my gosh. I am so excited to be back. I apologize for being gone so long, y'all. 2025 was a roller coaster. Was a fucking roller coaster, y'all. So I apologize that I am taking so damn long to get back, but hopefully I stay consistent over here and stick with my once a week upload schedule over here. So I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out, Girl Scout.